Is this thing on? Testing, testing. Hey, how's it going? And we are live. So at the moment, just me here, just shooting the breeze, talking about movies and whatnot. And yeah, if anyone jumps on, we'll see how we go. But yeah, at this stage, I just wanted to get on and talk about some movies. Not really a lot to talk about, but I just wanted to jump on and see what happens. So really been a pretty busy week with watching movies for the channel, doing my 31 days of Halloween. So far I am up to the 22nd movie was recorded today. So I'm a few days in front, which is good. So yeah, takes a little bit of the pressure off, but I'm having a lot of fun watching these movies because I am trying to get to movies that I have yet to see. Like, for whatever reason that I haven't watched them, but now I'm actually getting to, and I'm making the effort to actually watch these movies that I've put off for so long. And some of them are really good, and I'm really, really enjoying them. Others I haven't quite got to. Hey, internet, Eric here. Thanks very much. Yeah, those are a lot of fun. I've been enjoying rewatching those old Simpsons episodes mostly. I have gotten up to a few where there is just a definite decline in the quality of them, man. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, they went downhill really quickly. Not sure why, but yeah, I do talk about them, or the decline of them, I should say. But yeah, they're just a lot of fun. Like, I haven't seen these ones in ages, and yeah, how the Simpsons are one of those shows where no matter how much you've seen it, you always rewatch it, and you know it. It's like comfort food. You just go back and you rewatch them all the time. Yeah, that's the other thing I noticed. Exactly that. They do all become just parodies of movies and less horror, which is unfortunate because it's Treehouse of Horrors. You'd think they'd have more horror in them, right? I mean, one of the ones that I watched did have a parody of 127 Days, which I guess that's got some horrific elements in it. But, what happened to Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace, The Shinning? There was one recently which I really did enjoy, which was a 28 Days Later parody. That was a lot of fun with tainted crusty burger meat. Yeah, that was good. But yeah, I mean, they've got other ones where it's just like a parody of, Avatar, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, other than that, just been watching a lot of those ones and a lot of, like I said, horror movies that I haven't actually seen. Yeah, 100% Treehouse of Horror, and it's a parody of Harry Potter. Yeah. The worst one, though, was the Twilight parody. I hate that movie. It's the one, like, I thought, okay, I've heard so much crap about this one, Twilight. I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first one. And like I do with any movie, I try and go into it with an open mind, but yeah, no. I tried. I'm not watching any of those other movies, like any of those sequels. What I've seen of them, the bits that I've seen of them online, they look terrible. Terrible. Like, I'm talking terrible, like really bad, poorly made. And that's a pity because they've got a lot of great actors in them, but shit, they're bad. Yeah, I feel like I need to douse myself in warm stick and a rag or something, I'm scared to ask which one you're up to because, oh man, look, I got to be honest with you. There is one in the franchise, or there's actually a couple. Howling 5, Howling 6, which I really enjoy. I remember seeing that on VHS and I loved it. It's the circus one. Yeah. the ringleader's a van or the ringmaster. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it just in case you're not up to that one yet. But I mean, yeah, you start out top notch. The Howling, everyone knows the Howling. It's a freaking awesome. Yeah, Joe Dante did it. Um, uh, yeah, part 3. Yeah, but I mean, you start at the first one, like top of the pops, great stuff. Then you go to My Sister is a Werewolf. Like, how do you go on for it? It's got Sybil Danning is a draw card to it, let's face it. You've got Christopher Lee in it, but that's it. Then you go all the way to Australia with the marsupials, and you know you can't really top that. I don't think. I think that's a great way to start a franchise. But let's be honest, it was a pretty poor movie. But hey, I guess we'll see your reviews very shortly. And also, if you haven't, do go over and check out. If you're watching the replay or you're watching the stream, whatever. Yeah, if you haven't already, go and check out Eric's channel. Great content. He's a great guy too. He's got a lot of very interesting. I just watched his Terrifier 2 review. That was really good. I actually really enjoyed that one. So yeah, go check out his channel if you haven't. Definitely worth your time. So yeah, what else we got? Yeah, so I've just been going through these movies. I probably should have thrown a few Howling ones in there, but I think I only own the Howling 3 on physical media. It's the only one I own. I don't know why. Yeah, you would think. I know why I didn't get Howling 2. I did get I was going to get it on Arrow, but I wasn't willing to pay the price they were asking. Yeah. Man, now you got me thinking about the Howling films. I'm trying to think of the rest of them. I'm going to have a look at them now. The Howling. Let's see. The Howling film series. Wow. Look, in all honesty, you would be guessing right. I think one of the things that you mentioned in your review of Terrifier 2 was that Damien Leone took on the feedback from the first film. I think he's actually done that with this film too. He's taken on the feedback from the second film. And like you, I actually felt that was a good thing. Like, he's actually made it a lot better pacing, which I think you found that to be an issue as well. I think the movie itself is far better paced. It's sharper. It doesn't drag on when it doesn't have to. Whereas I found Terrifier 2 just dragged the fuck on too much. Like that scene in the Clown Cafe was just so boring. Like, I get it. They're trying to build something up, and there was that tension in there as well. But it just went on and on and on and on. Come on, needs an ending. It's the same with the actual ending of the freaking movie. It needs to end, not end, then start up again, then end, then start up again. And hey, we've got Pugwall316 in the chat as well. Thank you very much for joining me, Pugwall. Much appreciated. And yeah, you are right. Terrifier 2 did suffer from a lot of pacing issues. A lot. But yeah, it was just, it dragged on for too long. But I personally think that they improved that in the third one. And like you're saying, 2 definitely did improve with the characters a lot. Sienna was I thought a really well-developed character. And I think her character in the next one is done even better. She actually, very similar to, I guess Danielle Harris would be the best example. Her character in Halloween 2, dealing with PTSD, and what's her name, Scout Taylor Compton, dealing with PTSD and things like that. Both of the characters in Halloween 2 did it really well. I think Lauren Lavera and the kid that plays her brother also deal with that pretty well in the third one. So yeah, and I mean it's not going to be for everyone. Like it's an out and out blood fest. Like it's gore for gore's sake. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you're into it. And I went and saw this in the cinema and I loved it, but I do like to have a story behind it. Do you get that in this one? Oh, I'm not going to spoil it. Everyone else has to go and make up their own mind. I think it's an improvement, though. That's all I can say. But yeah, I was looking through the Howling. Man, the original Nightmare. I don't even remember that being anything. Then you've got the Howling Rebirth, Howling 6, The Freaks. That's where you want to get up to. Howling, New Moon Rising, and Howling Reborn. I'm assuming Howling Reborn is a remake or something. The Howling 4, the original Nightmare, is a British direct-to-video horror film. Okay, so we got the Brits to thank for that one. Hey, we had the Australians to blame for Howling 3, so why not? Howling 5 Rebirth. I don't actually remember that one at all, but that looks like it's set in a Hungarian Budapest, somewhere like that. Like I said, probably my favorite was The Freaks. I enjoyed that. I didn't see any of the ones after that. So New Moon Rising and Reborn, no idea. But man, there was a gap. 95 to 2011. That's a hell of a gap between horror films. Okay. Yeah, look, okay, so Longlegs I loved. I know a lot of people had their issues with it. I really enjoyed it. There was just something about it. I think Micah Monroe played the role fantastically. I have my thoughts on it, but I think she did a great job. Maxine was terrific. I actually think that was better than Pearl. A lot of people may not think that, but I really enjoyed the entire trilogy. X, Pearl, Maxine. If I had to rate it, X, Maxine, Pearl, or rank it, Terrifier 3, definitely put it on your list, but be warned, there is a lot of blood and guts in it. A lot. But hey, that's why I liked it. It is gore for gore's sake. And I mean, I do, like I said, I do like to have a story, but not always. Yeah, look, Pearl was good. No doubt. Like, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, X was good. It had that Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel to it, had that vibe to it. What I found about Pearl was it was well acted. I enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel like it went anywhere until that very not even the last act, like half of the last act. That's when shit happened. I mean, yeah, Maxine just kept the tension up all through it. Was the ending great? It was okay. Yeah, look, there are always going to be people that don't like certain films. Longlegs is going to have people that love it, and it's going to have people that hate it. Nick Cage in this plays creepy really well, like really well. That's all I'll say. He's demented as fuck. It's been nearly 15 minutes. I can say fuck. They're not going to. Well, I'm not even monetized, so they can't demonetize me. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I might get stuck with a ratings advice or whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. Nick Cage is just one of those actors. Like, I want to see. There's a movie he's got out with Joel Kinnaman, Sympathy for the Devil. I know it's on Shudder, and I keep meaning to check it out, but I just haven't had the chance. Hopefully it's good. I really enjoyed him in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That was an interesting one, but I did enjoy the play. Well, both him and Pedro Pascal playing off each other really well, and just playing himself was really good. Yeah, he's just one of those actors. Like even in Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, I love those movies. I thought they were really good. It's comedic because of close-ups of him and silences, but I think that added to the creepiness. Yeah, definitely. Just his entire demeanor and behavior in the whole thing, yeah, was just creepy. Yep. Morbius. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it's one of my favorite characters. I got into Morbius in the comics back in the Midnight Suns era. So that was when Ghost Rider, Blade, Doctor Strange. It was in the 90s. They brought back all these dark, demonic characters, and Morbius was one of them. And he was, just this pale white vampire, but he looked cool. He was dressed all in black, had this ragged cape with which is part of where he gets the color from in the movie, the purple smoke. But yeah, so I got into him there, and there's some really cool comics. Even though he's originally a Spider-Man villain, but I enjoyed his backstory and the fact that he didn't want to kill people to live, but he decides, okay, if I'm going to live, I'm going to kill people that are bad people. Yeah, so he's kind of like a supernatural Punisher in a way. Yeah, great to have you on for a little bit. As always, welcome anytime. Yeah, I've just knocked off work, so best of luck for you for the rest of the day. Okay. So yeah, other than that, it's been I don't know, it's just been a pretty busy week. So it's funny because you mentioned bad movies. So one of the things I was going to talk about was some of the worst movies, or what's considered to be some of the worst movies. And well, The Happening. Now I know a lot of people hate this movie, hate it. I like it. I enjoy it. It's one of those ones I can just chuck on and just have it playing and just enjoy what's happening with it. Yes, it's not great. Like, let's be honest. Mark Wahlberg's acting in this is terrible. Zoe Deschanel is just bland. The best acting in this is John Leguizamo. He is the best character in it by far. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because it's a M. Night Shyamalan film, a lot of people sort of give it a bit of grief. But I don't know. I like it. And yes, it's got the weirdest villains of all, plants as the killers. Like, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? But yeah, I mean, other ones, you've got this one here, and let me just make sure. Yeah. I mean, you could put this one with any of the movies he's made. Blood Rain from Yui Boll. Now, I'm not saying this movie's bad. I'm saying I own it. I've watched it once and I never will again. But let's face it, Yui Boll has made some shit movies. Yeah, look, the concept behind the happening was really cool and it was very interesting, especially that opening scene when things start happening and people start killing. That was really well done. Unfortunately, I just couldn't maintain it. But yeah, I mean, I've seen Fear, but I watched it for two other reasons. Yeah, Alyssa Milano. Um, he can act, and he had like Pain and Gain. I think it was. There was another one he did. Yeah, he was okay in Shooter and a bunch of other films he's been in. He can act, but I don't know what. It was almost like he knew the film wasn't going to be good, so he was taking the piss out of himself, and that's what I want to think he was doing. But I don't believe he was. I think he was just, yeah, it just wasn't working from whatever the reason. He just wasn't doing it. You know what? I haven't actually seen the entire trilogy. I've only seen the first one, and I never went on from that. Um, but the House of the Dead movies, I actually do have House of the Dead 2 on DVD, and I enjoyed that one. House of the Dead 1, I wanted to like it. I did. It's zombies. And I love the House of the Dead games. Like, they are fun. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it. House of the Dead 2, on the other hand, it's a sci-fi film, but it's, well, it's essentially what a sci-fi film is, like sci-fi brand. But I really enjoyed it. I did. And the last one I wanted to bring up was it's a sequel, but also a remake. And no one talks about this. It's Day of the Dead Contagion. Apart from the really cool blue or red cover and the inside, that's the only thing this movie has going for it. It is terrible. It is an absolute travesty. They've taken the name Day of the Dead and completely destroyed it. Completely. I mean, Day of the Dead is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, favorite zombie movies of all time. And they do this to it, like, seriously. Why did I buy it? Because this was a time before streaming and this was the only way I could watch it. And I saw it and I'm like, Day of the Dead, I love that movie. Let's have a look at this. And yeah, it was not good in any way, shape, or form. Acting was bad, special effects were bad, story was terrible. Yeah, it's sequel in name only, remake in name only. I don't know what else I can say about it, but yeah, that's it. That is it. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And hey, we got Woo Riders in the chat. Welcome, welcome. I was just about to wrap up here. Anyway, I was only jumping on for a little bit. Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's very rare that I do them. I just felt like I need a bit of a change. So I've been doing so many shorts this month. So I've been trying to do a few more live streams, But yeah, hitting 900 was huge. So thank you very much for that. And all your support is truly appreciated. So yeah, I'm going to call this one early. I was going to go on for about 30 minutes, but is what it is. And I've just finished work. So to be honest, I'm just going to crack open a drink and take it easy for the rest of the night. Anyway, thanks very much. Enjoy the replay. Like I said, just a quick one. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Bye.